financial problems, elder law, criminal law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by THAV GROSS. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. Today's topic is, my business is failing. Can I save it? Should I save it? Brian Small, good morning.
Good morning, Ken. Pleasure to be here. And maybe you should save it, maybe you shouldn't. There's a lot of analysis that needs to go into that.
I think we've covered the topic adequately for the day. Let's all take a break, go out, play some golf, and enjoy summer. Jeffrey Linden, how are you?
Oh, we're back. Good morning, Ken.
Got some ESCO.
You know, it's an interesting topic because I was walking in your office building and there's a big for rent sign on the office building. I was just wondering how many more commercial properties are going to be up for lease when companies aren't bringing their employees back.
Who knows? I mean, I did see this week a couple articles in the Wall Street Journal saying employers are requiring employees back to the office. So there is some sentiment about that. But in our market, Metro Detroit, we had a soft office market before COVID in the suburbs, particularly. Right. One factor was a lot of businesses moved downtown with the work that Dan Gilbert did and the revitalization of Detroit, and that added to the problems of a soft market. Now you layer in COVID, which adds to it. Yeah, here's a classic. We've been in this building since 1989, so it's a long time. Prior to that, we were across the parking lot. For many years, we kept saying we should have our own building. At one point, I was trying to put together a group and to buy this building. And I always used to say, I don't want to pay rent. I want to own a building. And then 3 times over this history, there's been events in the economy where I said, had I put the deal together and bought the building, I would be broke because I would have gone bust. So it's not, everyone thinks the guy who owns the office building is rich and doing great and everything else. It's a difficult market right now.
That's when we're talking about the renters, the tenants. They don't have to pay. They get their forbearances. They can't evict them. But what about the landlord, who's the bank, is up saying, hey, where's my money?
And that's the landlord of the office building. And we were talking about, I think, how about the guy who's got 4 rental properties?
Oh, yeah.
He's mortgaged them all. Yeah. And the mortgage payment, or the rent payment, was just designed to cover the mortgage payment, and the taxes, and a little some dollars for maintenance. And he was trying to build wealth by paying down the mortgage over time. And nobody cares about that guy. No. I mean, that's why the landlords are wanting to get beyond the moratorium and to evict.
So here's the question.
And everyone's sympathetic to the tenant, which also I'm sympathetic to.
Do you think all of the COVID bailout money has been apportioned fairly across all the different entities, from the tenant to the owner to the bank?
Awful.
Who's going to...
I will say this. I will say, with the benefit of hindsight, it is horrible what's happened. I do not fault either administration, particularly the prior administration, which everyone who knows me knows I have very strong feelings about the prior administration. But one thing I don't fault them for, when COVID hit, it was an unprecedented problem. And they made a decision to open up the bottom of the money flow, throw money everywhere to keep the economy alive. And that's what they did. But in hindsight, which you have the benefit of, and they had to move fast, people that did not need the money got way too much money. And there are other areas where people needed the money and it didn't get to them.
Let me throw one thing on that. I do a lot of the financial planning, but we look at more from an academic standpoint. When COVID hit, the market crashed so fast, everybody sucked all of their money out of the banks because they want to hold on because they don't know what the heck's going on. If COVID relief funds didn't get thrown into the banking system immediately, they
Disaster.
would have all failed worse than 2008 when it crashed.
I
That's
agree.
how fragile our financial system is right now.
Scary.
And people don't, and also the market's through the roof. Well, why? What made it the world wonderful for the stock market to go through the roof? It's just built on sand.
Yeah, it's
So anyway, thanks for having me here this morning.
it's a scary situation. So, so let's drill it down, Brian, to the business. All right, so, what are we talking about here?
Well, the question is the business viable? Business owner comes in to see me, he's bleeding money, and he doesn't know whether or not his business is salvageable or not. And we have to ask some really hard questions. You know, are you taking too much money out of the company? What expenses can be cut? What employees can be cut? What suppliers are critical? Who can be replaced? What other tools are there available to save your business?
So, what do you do?
Well, first we start looking at forecasting. We take a look at the profit and loss statements. We look at what business is coming in, and we look at the line item expenses of the business. And I will go through every single one and say, all right, I see you're spending $750 a month on marketing. Tell me about what your marketing plan is. Okay, can we reduce that and keep the business,
But
the
you
dollars coming in?
You reduce marketing, then how are you going to get any business?
We're not necessarily is our marketing effective?
That's a
Okay?
bigger
That's
question.
the question.
So
But that's a hard one.
I see you've
They
got.
need to advertise on Law and Reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I see you've got 20 employees. Okay.
Nielsen ratings just said to me, wow, you guys are going through the roof.
I see you've got 20 employees. Can you get by with 15? Which 15?
Oh boy.
Can we get rid of the people on the high end?
Oh,
I
boy.
enjoy that one because I do a lot of that business problem. I'm the guy that does the workouts for the businesses and the go-to guy. And when you ask that question
Oh.
to the owner, oh no, I can't get rid of him. Oh no, I
Well-
can't get rid of him. We go through 20 people and they come back and they say, I can only get rid of this guy. And then what I do is I say to them, all right, let me put it this way. Unless you trim $10,000 off your payroll every 2 weeks, we're closing the business on Friday. Today's Monday. I want you to bring me back the list of all your employees, put what you're paying them, and you have to cross out the ones that get you to the $10,000 and then bring it back and discuss it. And if you don't want to do that, we're going to close your business. We'll be back after the break. COVID-19 presents a fight for our personal and business financial survival. You have to make choices. Cash is critical. Do you tap your retirement, home equity line, or run up the credit cards? You need the right plan to avoid being wiped out, and you need it now. You can't rely on the government or banks. Call us. We're the experts in financial crisis. We were here for you and your business in the Great Recession, and we're here for you now. We'll create a plan and get through this together. THAV GROSS will solve your problem.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP.
A lifetime of hard work. If you don't have the right plan in place, you can lose your home, your savings, and more. And you didn't come this far to lose everything. Samasco Law wants you to know that laws are changing. Today, the average cost of nursing home care is $85,000 a year. With proper planning, we can help protect your life savings and get you the Medicaid and nursing home benefits you deserve.
How much can you afford to lose? Call Samasco Law today.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirschner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
So we tell them that, I tell them to do that. They come back. And you know what happens when they come back on Wednesday? They have crossed out the people.
Well,
and they're very nervous about it. And they're also, and one of the things that is always true in a small business, the last thing in the world they want to do is that day they got to walk in and they got to say, I'm sorry, you're gone.
Thank God that's that hard of a decision for them.
Yeah.
Thank God.
That's one of the nice things about the small
Yeah.
business, because the big business, they just send out an email and say you're gone.
Yeah.
So remember about this. What's the goal here? We have to look at the small business, and we're saying, if they had no debt, would they make a profit? Okay? In a fictional world, if you just had income and your operating expenses, is the bottom line in the red or in the black? If it's in the red, we got huge problems. That means that it's unlikely
It don't matter.
that the company's going to be viable. So what do we have to do to make it viable? Okay.
Let's do an example, okay? I know we worked on this together. What about Als Cleaners? Isn't that like a good example for
Als
this?
Cleaners is a great example.
Als Cleaners is one of the huge ones that COVID really affected because no one needs, they need their shirts pressed, but they don't need their pants pressed.
We can call it Als Cleaners. We can call it Al's Bowling Alley. You can call it Al's anything, okay? It's just a business.
Al's gas station.
Yeah. So, March 2020, the hemorrhaging started, right? And it hasn't gotten a whole lot better. It's starting to get a little bit better. Al's back in, is making has income coming in. But the problem is when you look at Al's balance sheet.
I'll give for Al's sake, just so you know, Al, I'm now on a 3-week turn, whereas pre-COVID I was always on a 1-week turn. I would at least have 5 work shirts that went to the cleaners every week, and then usually a couple pairs of slacks, and then maybe 1 suit every couple weeks. Now it's a 3-week turn because I'm only in the office so many days. T-shirts don't go to the cleaners.
There's only a third of the dry cleaners left on the planet anyway. So,
Right.
But we're going to put up a chart about Al's Cleaners. But basically, here's the position he's in. Before he came to see us, he's got $125,000 worth of vendor debt, $250,000 secured line of credit with the bank, $15,000 in past due payroll taxes. So he's got $390,000 worth of debt, which doesn't necessarily sound like a lot, but happens to be a lot for a small business.
That seems like a lot.
That seems like a lot.
So when
That
you're
payroll taxes are real bad.
if you did remember what my question was, if Al has no debt, would he be making a profit? And in this case, the answer is, without debt, the company's cash flow for this purpose is $3,333 a month.
So if he got rid of all of his debt, he could make a living of.
Is that his
$40,000
Is that
a
his
year.
income? Is that Al's income?
No, that's what
profit.
that's what he has available to
But he
service
could
the
survive.
debt. He's surviving. He's taking money out of the company, but it's
But his
not
debt's
enough.
but his debt's growing.
Yeah, so
No, he's getting $3,330. If he didn't have this debt, he's getting $333 a month. He's not
Right.
surviving
No,
now.
he's having a problem. So we've got 2 choices. do we do a workout for Al, which is a non-bankruptcy solution, or do we do a small sub-chapter 5 of
Al.
chapter 11?
I'm Al. In fact, my dad's name was Al. And so I'm going to say to him, Brian, I would much prefer the workout plan. I don't like this bankruptcy stuff. It's embarrassing to me.
Right.
So
okay.
what can you get me out of a workout plan?
So
are you a workout guru?
A guru? I would say yes.
Okay. So what can you do for me?
So you have to look at what
have you done for me lately? Nothing.
I'm gonna
Nothing. No, go on.
So you look at each individual category of debt and see what can be done. So let's make it easy. Let's look at the payroll taxes first. Can't wipe out the payroll taxes unless you can do an offer and compromise, but reality is that the payroll taxes that are owed, the simplest solution is to get on a 72-month installment payment agreement.
Can you get that done?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because that's not
Cook
your
it.
money, that's employees' money, right?
Yeah,
right.
That can be
You're a
assessed against you.
fiduciary.
You're personally
yeah.
liable.
That's a
It's,
bad
it's
one.
never going away.
It's not going away.
It's either going to be the company paying it, or Al
you're
when he
gonna-
closes the business. Al's still going to
All
pay.
right,
it.
I'm okay with that. You did good on the payroll taxes.
Okay.
What's next?
So now the problem, we've got your secured line of credit, which the bank called. They called their loan, and so what do they want? They want $250,000 tomorrow, and we're saying we don't have it, and now it's a negotiation back and forth.
So how much can you get me?
Realistically, if we take that $250,000, we probably can get it spread over on a 15-year note. But it's you're gonna lose your credit
I want to
line.
add to that. That would be I'm not Al. I'm Ken. That would be an outstanding result if you could get that, because banks, when it's a bank lender, it's very difficult to get. They might give you that amortization for a year,
Or 5 years.
but they won't. But that's a very hard sell. But all right. But I'm going to tell you this. Now I'm Al. I can't afford $19.77 a month plus the $208 because that's $2,100. I only have $3,300 of cash flow.
I understand.
If you do this to me, Brian, I'll have $1,000 a month to live on. $1,000 a month
No.
divided by 4 is $250 a week.
No, you'll have less than that, because don't forget you have the unsecured vendor debt.
Yeah, right. I know. But
So this is why-
and
so
let me make
people say-
another point. $250 a week is the same as zero. $250 a week doesn't cover my house payment, doesn't cover rent, doesn't cover food, it'll cover gas.
It does, but here's the thing. Al is trying to, if Al does nothing, Al has zero.
Okay, I'm Al. I
You
thought
gives
you
you
were
an
a guru
opportunity.
I thought you were a guru on workouts. This ain't gonna work for me.
But
What
the
else?
question is
tell me
is
about
a
the
workout
bankruptcy.
worthwhile?
You know what this is?
I need-
Sometimes
I
the
need
client doesn't want to hear the answer. He
Right.
doesn't. He's
Right.
in that trouble because someone told him to not do it that way years ago, and he continues
But
to
here's
do
the
it the
thing.
wrong way.
There's two clients
Brian,
here.
I'm on your side.
Right, but remember, there's
Listen,
two
what-
clients
Listen
here.
to
There's
your lawyer.
I'm
Al,
gonna take a break.
there's Al,
Take a break.
and there's the business.
And take a break. You got to tell me, what should I do?
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP.
I love you too. Bye-bye. That was Jerry. Emma just said her first word.
Oh.
Jerry says hello and they'll be over soon.
Who's Jerry? Is he a friend of yours?
No. This Jerry. Our Jerry. And this is his wife and their little girl.
Time for announcements. Want to remind our viewers to listen to us for Law and Reality Live on the Praise Network, Tuesdays 10 o'clock a.m. and Saturdays 7 o'clock a.m. and on KISS 105.9, Sundays 7 o'clock in the morning. Remember, you can always come in the office for a free consultation. You can also do them via teleconference or phone conference. Just call our offices, 248-645-1700, and schedule a free seminar. You can also call our 888 number, 235-HELP. Also, if you ever want to schedule a consultation online, just go and you can check the boxes. Areas covered: debt issues, tax issues, estate planning issues, business issues, elder law issues with Pat, disability issues with Jeff Kirshner. All you've got to do is go online to schedule a conference or call us, which is the old-fashioned and the easy way, 888-235-HELP. Also, take a look at the website. There's free reports: Resolving Tax Problems, The Real Solutions by myself and Jeff Linden, Bankruptcy, Is It Right for Me by Brian Small, that's our newest report, How to Save Your Home from Foreclosure, Business Formation Loans and Grants for Small Businesses in Detroit and Michigan, and by Pat Simasko, The Retiree's Guide from Social Security. I want to thank our sponsors, THAV GROSS, Simasko Law, Kirshner Law. Now back to the show.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirshner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem. COVID-19 presents a fight for our personal and business financial survival. You have to make choices. Cash is critical. Do you tap your retirement, home equity line, or run up the credit cards? You need the right plan to avoid being wiped out, and you need it now. You can't rely on the government or banks. Call us. We're the experts in financial crisis. We are here for you and your business in the Great Recession, and we're here for you now. We will create a plan and get through this together. THAV GROSS will solve your problem.
All right, so Brian, I'm Al. I'm hearing you, but I don't see that this workout plan
you
is
came
good,
in,
working.
you said you don't want a bankruptcy, so I'm trying to show you what the result
I'm
of a
open
workout's
to
gonna
another
be.
result.
Now
What else
you're
can you do?
open to it.
Yeah, because
I see the light. This is
There
the
you
work.
go. You
A
needed
workout-
someone to tell you this stuff.
A workout plan will allow the business to be saved, but it costs more than,
And it goes forever.
well, it goes for
180 months at my
15
age
years.
is forever. Yeah.
Versus
15,
we can look at
67.
what if I said I can make it go
not
away
good.
in 3 years?
Tell me how.
So we have this new.
You got the magic wand.
I do have a magic wand in this case. It's called Subchapter 5 of Chapter 11.
Oh, that's a nice name. You like that, Pat? That's cool. Magic wand, subchapter 5 of chapter 11.
So
okay, what does it do?
I used to know what that was,
In
but now
February
I know.
of 2020, a portion of the bankruptcy code was modified to allow small businesses to file reorganizations that make sense. They don't require.
So how does it work for me?
Well, we don't have.
I got to get back to the cleaners in 3 minutes.
Right. So what we do is.
There's another way of saying the show's over in 3 minutes. Go ahead. How do you get it done? Sorry.
Okay, so with the subchapter 5 of chapter 11, what Al has is $3,333 a month cash flow for the business. Okay? But that doesn't mean that Al can't take some money out of the business and put himself in a position to pay himself. He is allowed to pay himself. He can't pay himself $40,000-$50,000 a year because it isn't there. But there is some
so
money
I can
that
get
come
some
out.
salary.
Some salary.
500 a month or something.
and
500 a week.
maybe $1,500 a month in this case.
Okay. And then how do you get me out of debt?
Well, we're going to pay 0 cents on the dollar to the unsecured creditors because I don't care whether they get paid.
Okay.
We're going to pay the
Because this chapter 5 of subchapter 11 or whatever allows you to do that.
right.
Okay.
We're going to pay the bank back on their secured line what the collateral's worth. So in this case, the collateral is really only worth $50,000, not $250,000. So all we have to do is pay back $50,000, and we get to do that over 3 to 5 years in this chapter 11.
I like that. So if I go take a hammer to the collateral on the machines and start knocking it down, can I make it worth less so that I can
Remember
pay
how
Yeah,
you said I
but-
used to do criminal cases?
I
You can call
I
me
can't
next.
do that? Okay.
But
The
don't-
machines don't work
I'm
really
just
well
trying
when
to
you do
think
that
of a
either.
way to survive. I'm not trying to do anything wrong, Judge. I'm just trying to survive.
No. What is Al's a Dry Cleaners, right? Dry cleaning equipment. There's 7 million dry cleaners that are closed.
Good point.
The
Probably worth less.
collateral is worth almost nothing. We take advantage of the fact that COVID has occurred, and we utilize that to our advantage instead of the disadvantage.
So if I'm hearing you correctly,
we still have to pay
with
those
this
payroll
chapter
taxes in full,
11,
by the way.
I can maybe get $1,500 a month of income.
Yeah.
And at the end of 3 years, I'm done with all this debt.
Gone.
All right. So now I go back to this problem. How am I going to live on $1,500 a month?
Well, wait a minute. What have you been living on up to? You've been paying. You have nothing to live on.
Well,
He's been living on the
Well,
payroll.
I didn't mention
tax
to you that
he's
my
been
wife
holding
is
on
an
to.
executive at an automotive company and makes $150,000 a year. Did I?
Well, that's great.
I can live
That's,
off of her.
But what about the guy? Let me
But
just tell you
living
something.
off of her affects my manhood.
Okay, but in 3 years you get rid of the debt,
Man,
and then you have
gave that up a
your
long
income.
time ago, buddy.
But forget about that. The whether or not Al is married, single, his wife makes money or not,
This
right
is still
now
a good deal.
this is still a good deal because otherwise Al is filing a Chapter 7 for the business. He's walking, and for himself, he's walking away from the debt, and Al has to go get a job making money doing something else.
And he still owes $150 to the payroll.
Well, I know I can always go get a job being a waiter right now.
Absolutely.
And I'd probably be making more money than I am making in the
But you know,
cleaning.
that's the thing that you should really consider because he could put all this behind him by just going to get a
But
job.
that's another
Chapter
choice.
7.
No, that's
That's
he
the
needs
choice.
to have
Is the
that
business
If
viable?
Al is
Isn't it
67,
viable?
it's one thing. If Al is 45, it's a whole different thing.
Opportunity is knocking. It doesn't slam the door open. It just knocks. You have to open the door
Jeff,
and
that was
figure
your
out what
segue.
your opportunity
Not,
really is.
more, yeah, by finding out what your
I'm not a puppet.
options
I don't,
are.
I don't react on
That's what we're
cues.
doing. I like the subchapter 5 of chapter 11, but I want you to come up with a better name for that remedy by the next time we talk about it on this show.
I'll be sure to
Have
get
a
on
great
that.
week. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week with Law and Reality.